Welcome, sports fans, to another edition of Play It Right TV. This is Quinito Henson with Dyan Castillejo. And today, we've got two very special guests all the way from down under. First off, the man who Philippine basketball is so thrilled about following his journey, Sotto, all 7'3" of him. He's playing for the Adelaide 36ers in the National Basketball League of Australia. And he is here with us, along with the Adelaide coach, CJ Bruton. Now, before we turn you over to Dyan for the first few questions, could we ask Kai for his opening statement, and then we'll ask Coach CJ. Kai, welcome to the show once more.
Hey, Kai.
Thank you, Sir Quinito. Thanks for having me today. And let's get to this interview with Coach CJ.
Okay, Coach CJ?
I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you for having me and Kai. I'm excited to answer any questions that you have.
Oh, this is going to be very thrilling, Dyan, because it's so rare to be able to get first Kai,
I know,
and now with Adelaide coach as well on the same show. So, Dyan, your first two questions.
Yeah, thanks so much for being on the show. We're super excited, and Kai, congratulations on your great performance the last couple of games. I've just been tuned into the Australian Open, so I'm feeling Australia all over after the Nadal win. Did you get to watch any of the matches or no? You watch any tennis, Kai?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you focus on your game. Well, you had really good couple of games. Tell us how you're feeling after the performance, and when you sat out, how did you keep in shape, and what kept you busy?
Right now, I'm just very happy. We finally won against Melbourne, and that was actually the first win that I played. So I'm very happy after that. And when I sat out, it's just the fact that I have to stay ready for when Coach CJ give me the opportunity, that I'll be ready. So, I'm looking forward to this next couple games. Then hopefully win more, and we'll learn every day.
Yeah, it was so nice to watch you play. I was watching the intensity on your face. Can you tell us how is the level of competition in the NBL as compared to what you used to, and how much do you think your training with the Gilas and with East West Private prepared you for what you're going through right now?
Everything has helped me to this point. All the training I had in the U.S. and all the practices I had with the national team, and also the games I played with the national team really helped me prepare, especially mentally, that I'm going to play against pros already, guys who are a lot older than me, and NBL is a pretty competitive league. All the teams are really good. The players are very talented. So I'm just happy that I'm finally slowly getting more comfortable each game, and I'm looking forward to playing more.
Okay, Dyan, we're noticing the muscle tone.
You've been bulking up.
In Kai's arms. I mean, it's so noticeable. Kai, you're looking buffed. You're looking ready to rumble. And Coach CJ, what are you doing to Kai to make him look such a fierce competitor on the court? Looks like his conditioning is going well.
Definitely, coming out of COVID was going to be tough. We spent almost a month and going in and out of lockdown. We had 5 sessions in that month, and clearly going into the game against the Perth Wildcats, knowing where Kai was at, he was training in those 5 sessions. I wanted him to get to a certain level of play, and at that point, having bigs that were out, I thought this is a great chance for him to hit the ground running, and I told him to be ready for the game, and not put him in the game wasn't that of. As always, there's two ways to look at it, but for Kai, it was like I need him to get to I want him to get to a certain level. I'm also managing not only his load, but for him to get to where he is feeling comfortable and feeling confident and being able to deliver what I know he's capable of doing and what the fans want to see. And I think the work that he's been doing off the court with Richo, our strength and conditioning coach, has been amazing, which has allowed for him to continue to grow. But I think it's more so on Kai Sotto, which you all know. He's delivered in spades, and the conversations that we've had after the Perth game in how the world will talk about, you didn't play. This is the first game back, and everyone's eyes are on Kai. Was how do we? It's not so much like how you handle this. This is about my job is to help you become an elite player and hopefully one day get to the NBA. And to get there, every day counts. And I need him to keep pushing himself and setting that tone every day at practice, which he's been doing. His charisma, his athleticism, it all shines within our group. The way he's played has been next level, diving on loose balls at practice, blocking shots as he's capable of doing, and finishing at the other end with authority and enjoying and bringing that smile on everyone's faces and his own, which has been good.
Nice.
Well, Coach CJ, the last 3 games, Kai Sotto has delivered double-figure points. In one game, he went 8 out of 8 from the free throw line. And then in the last game, that big upset over Melbourne, the league leader, and snapping their 8-game winning streak, Kai delivered some excellent moments. He had that alley-oop reverse two-handed dunk, and then he had that clutch jumper in overtime. I mean, he was like the total package. We understand that Kai is getting ready for the April NBA draft this year. Do you see him progressing to a level where he can be a prospect for the draft? And how are you preparing specifically for Kai to be at that level?
Well, there's no doubt that Kai will have every opportunity to play in the NBA. If it's this year, like depending on how the draft stock goes, as we all know, it can be different at different times. It's to give him every shot to want to be first round and play and contribute. But I feel like right now, just for him to get drafted, I think his time will come. This is almost like your first year of college basketball, but being a professional athlete. And I said to Kai earlier, and he can testify to this, I plan on getting you there. He knows that everything that he's about to go into, he can handle and has already had before him in every different scenario which he's seen. And by him playing in the minutes that he's been playing, he's earned every minute. He's delivered, as you've seen, and he's learnt from the clips that I send him. He picks up on and he understands. He studies the game. He's a very good student. I think for every scout that I've spoken to so far, from around the NBA and that want to know about Kai Sotto and his personality, to what he can bring and where he fits, I said there's no doubt he's going to be there. So everyone understands that he's going to be there at some point. It's just a matter of when. But for now, he's here to help Adelaide 36ers to be successful and to help put Kai Sotto, truly on the map where the world knows that he's internationally, like he's owned every element and every area of the game that he could possibly own.
Dyan?
Kai, it's so nice to hear, your coach speak about that way, speak about that way, your game, your attitude and everything. But on your own assessment, how would you rate yourself? Where do you feel like you really improved on, and what are you most happy with your development as you've been playing with the 36ers?
I feel like I can play much better. I think I should be better rebounding. As for a 7-footer, I only average 4 rebounds a game, which is something to improve on. But I'm learning every day. So I think ever since I started practicing with the 36ers, really helped me prepare me to play against guys in this league. And I think the fact that I said that I'm feeling more comfortable every game, it's a good sign, and it's just I'm just more focused on where I can help the team succeed every game. So as I said, I'm just very excited for these upcoming games. It's going to be challenging. I mean, it's always challenging, but I'm up for the challenge, and very excited to play with my teammates again.
Can you tell us more about your relationships with the team? Like, who are the teammates that you really bond with, and what can you tell us? Like, how does it go? Like on and off the court. Hello,
Uh, every,
Quinito.
Everybody's really cool. It's a very fun group. I think I'm one of the youngest in this group, so I maximize that to kind of fool around with everybody. And to the guys that I'm always with is mostly Sunday Ditch and Manny Malou. We're always together, so we just have that relationship. But every time I'm with the team, I always try my best to uh, make them smile and just to bond, because I believe that when I grow old, that's the things that I would remember, that I won't forget, is the bonding that I shared with these guys. So yeah.
Kai, when you were training in the US, you've already been exposed to a lot of NBA players. You worked with Chuck Pearson, so many other NBA players. But now in the NBL, you're playing with and against former NBA players. With Adelaide, I'm sure you're getting a lot of good tips from Bairstow, who plays for the Chicago Bulls, and Dusty Hannes has been in the NBA with the Memphis Grizzlies, and both of those guys are major contributors to your team. Then you go up against other teams with NBA players, and I was watching you play on a switch against Matthew Dellavedova. You held your own, made him rethink his shots. I think you might have even blocked him. So, are you in awe when you're playing with former NBA players and against NBA players? How does it feel?
During the game, I don't really think about it. It's like if you're my teammates, you're my teammates. If you're my opponent, I don't really think of stuff like that. But yeah, I mean that instance with Dellavedova is just one defensive stop, and I just try to force him left, because that's
Mhm.
what the scout said. But yeah, I mean having Bairstow, DJ, and Isaac, those guys, especially from a big man's perspective, is so much to learn from them every day. That's why those are one of the things that I'm very looking forward to every day when I go to practice, is to learn from those guys. And not just them, but also guys like Sunday Ditch and Mitch McCann, who are like really, really good leaders. And they just, I can just learn so much from everybody in one day. So it's very fun to be with this group.
Coach CJ, bringing down Melbourne had to be an achievement. They had an 8 game winning streak, and you guys were underdogs in that game. You pulled it off in overtime, and you did without Isaac Humphries. Now, when he comes back, and I think he's due to come back any day now soon, if I'm not mistaken, uh, will his return diminish Kai Soto's presence on the court? Will they be able to play together? We know that Kai can play multiple positions. Um,
Mhm.
what is your scheme of things when Isaac comes back, and how will Kai Soto fit in your system and in your rotation?
Well, from day one, I saw Guy Soto contributing to the NBL, and I see that with Isaac, and when it was unfortunate that we didn't have him for, he was in and out for the preseason games, and then when I was told that there's a chance that he's not playing in the first few games, I was like, well, that hurts us. That doesn't help the team. So I know he can play the four slot and play beside someone like Isaac Humphries, and that's what gave me great confidence in knowing that I can get the minutes that I see and vision for him in our time with the Adelaide 36ers, when with our big man component. As it went on, and having Kai out and having Isaac in, it was like finding the rotations to get him in, to get a feel for it without overdoing it, and with some responsibilities and understanding of here's how the game will unfold. But Kai knows now, when he's coming in the game, He knows his matchup, so he knows what he's looking for. I tell him the tendencies of what he should be looking to, how he attacks, to how he's going to approach and where he gets his shots from. But the plan forward for him playing will definitely, it's not going to diminish. I need him to stay healthy, as I need all our bigs to, so that we can get the most out of him. So the plan is never to subtract. It's more to how can I help Kai contribute more and less more on the bigs that are veterans, as you've stated. And Kai has stated, they're older, they're wiser, and been around the game. But Kai's youth and his ability to impact the game is still second to none in this league.
I'll squeeze in another question, Dyan, before you come on with your questions. Coach CJ, are there plays specifically designed for Kai to get the ball, either to power, put it on the floor, move from outside, rolling to the basket, getting the pass off the pick? What are some of the special plays that you've designed, or are those secret? Can you divulge some of those special plays?
They are secret. I don't know who else watches this. Who else is online here watching right now? But there is plays designed for bigs and for our guards. There's certain ways that Kai can get the ball, and as I've told him over a few conversations of late, I know he's capable of doing more. I want to see him do more. I want to put him in a spot where he can showcase his talent, because I feel like you want to show instead of keep it to yourself. The more he can explore and show and ooze that confidence, I think it will only help our team grow in that space. And as you've seen through the games earlier, he was reluctant to shoot a ball. He always wants to fit into the team and buy in, where I think a little more confidence, a few more kicks up his boom boom, and he's out here running and dunking the ball, and I'm telling him to spread the floor. He's running hard. Kai, get back. This is your block right here. That's your assignment. He's doing everything that's asked of him, which is very pleasing as a head coach, and I expect nothing less, and he's doing a great job.
Dyan?
Kai, I think it's been a couple of months that you've been without your family sort of around you. How long has it been? How many months now?
4 months, ever since I came to Adelaide.
Yeah, that's right. So usually sanay ka na, they're around you and all that. So how are you? I guess the adjustment is okay. And how often do you keep in touch with them?
I talk to them almost every day, every night. Especially my youngest brother. He always wants to call me. He always misses me. So I'm a big family person. I always like to be with my family, but this time I can't be with them. So it's a little difficult, but this is part of the journey. It's not always good for you. There's always some things that you have to adjust on, and as long as I know that my family's safe and happy with what they're doing and with what I'm doing, I'm good with that.
Yeah, as in using the words of Nadal in the 5-set match, going 5 hours. He says, it's part of our job description to suffer, just for the sake of improvement. But anyway, have you been enjoying Australia, Kai? How do you find it as a country? Personally, I love Australia, but how has it been for you? Do you like the food, and do you get to go out, or is it super strict because of the COVID restrictions, or how is it?
I love Australia, especially Adelaide. Me personally, I don't really go out much.
You don't?
I'm more of a stay in my apartment, stay in my house, because I'm usually with my family, so I stay home with my family. But now they're not here, I'm still like that. I always stay at home. My group of friends, my family here is my team. That's it.
So practice home lang? Practice home? You don't get to you haven't gone around or see some of the sites or wala?
I go out when some of my teammates invite me to go out and eat sometimes, and I go out sometimes to get groceries, to eat, go to the beach for a walk. Not every day. I'm too lazy for that, but I like to stay home and chill.
Quick follow up. What anything Aussie that you like to eat that you've taken on? Are you into the steaks or what?
Actually, the food here, from where I am, it's mostly Asian food. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
I mean, I live in front of Chinatown, so it's mostly
Oh,
Chinese
okay.
food, Japanese food,
Fried
and
rice.
yeah, so it's
No
pretty good.
kangaroo meat.
I haven't tried it yet.
Have you tried Vegemite? No.
No, I haven't.
No?
We'll make sure that all that gets covered throughout his
Okay.
journey and his time. But clearly, starting out, we've been on coming through COVID and different situations. We haven't been able to get out as a team as much as we would
Mm.
like. But when we have gone out and done things, definitely there'll be more of those adventures for him to appreciate Australia and enjoy the country as we continue our journey.
Well, Kai, we have to talk about the physicality in the NBL. When you talk about Australian sports, you talk about Aussie rules. And in the NBL, you know that there are a lot of physical players, and I'm sure you're feeling it. But what Filipino fans have noticed is that you haven't backed down. You've been able to play as physical as you can, and you've been able to give as much as you take. Is that something that's in the back of your mind? You know, the Aussie rules, the rough stuff, the physicality of the way Australians play.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm always not the strongest in the court, but I think it's just competitiveness inside me that
Right.
really wants to compete, you know. And in Australia, it's physical. Compared to Philippines, it's sometimes physical hurting. so,
Okay.
so growing up in the Philippines, like playing in the streets when I was younger, playing against tricycle drivers, construction workers, and I was a kid, and they used to beat me up on the court, and I'm pretty much mentally, I'm pretty much used to it. So when it comes to here in the NBL, it's just staying ready to stay ready to play against these guys, and backing down is not an option. So yeah.
Kai, I have to ask you, your last game, you were spectacular. You had that alley oop reverse two handed dunk. Was that something that you guys practiced? And then when you had that eye to eye contact with your teammate to get the pass and elevate, was that something that you really had in mind to do? And secondly, that big jumper that you took in overtime, was that play designed for you, or you just found yourself open when the defense got a little confused with what you guys were running?
Uh, First the dunk. I mean, it's basically an easy read because it was a 3-on-1 and no one was guarding me.
Mhm.
So especially the best point guard, Mitch McCarron, was holding the ball. You have to expect the pass when you're open. He's gonna give it to you. And the last shot, it was just I think it's just Mitch who just called the play, and Dusty was score. Just Dusty scored like 3 times in a row. So I tried to set a screen on him, and then I got the ball on top, and Achul was kind of far away, and there was like 7 seconds left. So I just did a one dribble pull up, and happy I made it, and happy we won.
That's great. Diane?
Coach, how would you rate Kai's adjustment to the physicality, the way he's just mentally like staying toe to toe with all the competition there?
No, I think he's fit in and he's made himself right at home. I think everyone was always going to challenge him in that space, and I think one thing is with his length, he's always going to be able to challenge. If you can back him down, he'll still throw your stuff out. So I think everyone sort of found it's one thing to push him, another thing to get the shot over him. So, but learning just where to push them to and where they're trying to get to and understand that, I think he's done a very good job of that and how to take away things from them that they want to do. And being as big as he is, if he doesn't want to battle with them because are physical, he can stand in front of them. And it's not like they're going to throw the ball over the top of his head because he can get that. So
Yeah.
this is where an advantage in understanding and being smart in certain situations. If he three-quarter fronts, his length will give a chance to get a deflection. So he has the advantage where they think that they have the advantage. It's showing him a way of how he takes full advantage of them, not the other way around.
Yeah. And the season for the 36ers, what do you think needs to improve? What are your strong areas and what are some of the weaker spots that you need to sharpen up?
Well, clearly our defense has been a cattle in any championship team or a winning team or franchise. You know, you got to have pretty solid defense, and I think we have that not only in our starting unit, but when we add Kai to that group, and I remove Bairstow, I feel like we don't lose in that space. You know, it takes a little adjustment of what the schemes are and what you're trying to give and take away. But I think we're very strong in that space, and we need to find ways to keep improving in that area on our pick and roll defense. As you've seen over a few games, there was games where Harry Froling for the Illawarra Hawks got 8 threes. So it's something that's a work in progress, and it's something that we need to work on daily. Throwing the ball away, we have a high number of turnovers, and Kai was over there squinting his eyes and shaking his head because he's, you know, we're all a part of it, and it's a learning process for everyone. And the sports is like the world. We all make mistakes, and we learn how to adjust from it. And can we make a better decision next time? And in the game of
Right.
basketball, it's understanding and showing them consistently of these are the type of options that are available to you, and here's the ones that we're looking for right now. But we are to pass to our teammates as everyone. Don't pass to the other team, and take shots that are predictable, which allows for us to get good rebounds. So. Cleaning up our areas, defense, our passing ability. I think our shot selection will come, and over time, I think we've done a pretty good job of how we stretch guys to how we put them in situations that they don't want to be in, and using Kai to his strengths as well as Cameron Bairstow and DJ. So for all our bigs, they've been able to take advantage of our size, our length at different times throughout the game, and that's how you've been able to help Dusty Hannons get open, Kai Sotto setting picks and the Bairstows of this world, and being able to put them in a spot where we can, again, lead from the front. So if we can continue to improve in our passing game, our execution, it's, again, having 5 sessions hurts, but that's right now when you're in this type of environment in this world, no one cares. So we're in the short little turnarounds and what little windows we have to practice before the next game comes, we just keep sharpening that up. And I feel like as the season goes on, we'll get better and better in this space, and you'll see a force towards the back end of the season.
Well, Coach, we know that Kai Soto is not your first introduction to the Philippines. You visited Manila twice. You did play for the Sydney Kings in an exhibition in the PBA many years ago, and then you came back to visit on vacation. So you know about the Philippines, but we want to know more also about you. First, your recollections about Manila. Second, your own basketball journey. I've been a fan of your dad, and he shows my age. We called him the Black Pearl. I have his book. Cal Bruton was something special. And as well as you, and the father and son, are legends in Australian basketball. But CJ, you played for 6 NBA champion teams. You've been, you were drafted in the NBA. You performed in several NBA training camps, including with the Portland Trail Blazers. And then you became a coach. You even coached in Puerto Rico once. Tell us about your basketball journey. Tell us about your experiences in Manila and how Filipinos have become part of your own basketball journey.
Well, that's a long. This is going to be a long conversation. I don't know if you've got enough time for
Yes,
that.
we
But
do.
my my basketball journey clearly starts with my father having the opportunity to come to Australia in 1979 when the NBL first started, and being one of the first African Americans to come out here and play. The Black Pearl put on a show and was able to come back to Australia. And the only way he was able to bring his family here was to leave Brisbane, which was the Brisbane Bullets, which I was assistant coach for, and it was one of the first employed. I was the first employed to help bring that franchise back from Larry Kesselman, the league owner. Put me in a position to help be a part of that, which I'm forever grateful. But my father got the chance to bring my older brother and my mother to Australia, where we moved to Geelong, which they were called the Geelong Great Shade Cats, and they're in the NBL one. But back then they weren't in the NBL, and they were working their way to the NBL. But they played in the big VBA and different leagues. So for me, growing up, I got to learn firsthand the Australian way of basketball, the give and go, the pick and roll, share and play with your teammates, the physicality of the sport, because of all the sports here from AFL to rugby league. There's a physicality level that went with that. And then being a US citizen, I was able to go back to the States and be in an environment where I went to college and I was like, well, I'm a little...
Some technical problems there with Coach CJ. Well, I hope to get him back, though. Coach CJ, you're back.
Yeah,
Please
sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, so I from college to getting I was able to win a national championship when I went to college. I played with a player named Pete Michael, who's well known in Barcelona and Spain, and we were teammates. I got drafted from junior college. I didn't play at a 4-year school. I played professional basketball I signed as a 17-year-old. I played as an 18-year-old. I wasn't allowed to go to a 4-year school because of the rules then. But I didn't have both papers if I had both papers to show the NCAA, I would have got my eligibility back. My parents had separated by then, so I was doing acting on my own accord. Obviously, I had the support of my family, but I didn't have the agent at the time to be able to forecast my journey at that time. But by going to college and getting drafted, I put myself in a spot where I felt like I love the game and I want to keep growing. I learned a lot from my father and the different coaches throughout my journey. I've been fortunate enough to represent my country, Australia, and go not only to one Olympics but two. I was fortunate enough to captain an Australian team to a Commonwealth gold medals game and to be able to play overseas. And so this is where, for me, internationally, of not only in Puerto Rico and Israel and traveling around the globe, you get that understanding of different cultures. Like, we all appreciate where we come from. When you walk the streets and see how people live, you understand the fight that it is, not only for yourself to be great at your craft, but what people struggle for every day, and don't look at it as you know what, I've got all this and I'm going to waste this talent. It's make the most of what you got, and hopefully the stars align. And it doesn't align for everyone, and you see people fall from the wayside all the time. And so for me, I've been very blessed to play 20 plus years, travel the globe and play at a high level, meet so many great people, and through that, travel, come to Manila and see the proud product of not only how you love your own and your league and the different leagues within your league, from the PBA to PBL, and seeing how the NBA folds and how much love and support you have for the game of basketball, which is it blew my mind. I didn't really quite see it that way when I was in Sydney until I made that journey and that trip. And then, as I said, the traffic and it's insane. I don't know how you do it every single day, but it's and through the weather, but and not speaking the language, I don't hear all the complaints. But I know that everyone goes about their daily lives, and we know that we keep striving for greatness and to put ourselves in a spot. But we always love our sport. We love our own, and again, it's encouraging for me. And then when I see someone like Sotto, who speaks well, not only to matter who's beneath him because he's so small, but it's either the young ones to the elders. He shows respect to the elders. He shows the charisma and the youth to the young. He's able to mingle with sponsors. He's been brought up the right way from every part of his journey from United States to Philippines to coming to Australia, it's all now come on display. And I'm just proud and honored that I get the chance to be in his presence and to work with him and to see him grow along his journey.
That's an amazing story. And you mentioned
Yeah.
Pete Michael. He also got to play in the Philippines. But Kai, how do you respond to all those things that Coach CJ just mentioned about his experiences? And also that he tried to make it in the NBA. He was drafted. I'm sure he's giving you advice on how to prepare yourself for the coming NBA draft.
Yeah.
Kai, what's your
Coach
reaction?
CJ, Coach CJ for sure is one of the Australian NBA goats. He's an idol, and he's just accomplished so much in his basketball career, playing and coaching, and just to be playing under him is it's an honor, you know, and it's just I'm very thankful and very blessed to play in this team and to have him as my head coach. And Coach CJ is the type of coach that you won't really feel shy about talking to something, and he will really tell you what he feels and what he sees in your game, and that is very important for me. And yeah, Coach CJ is one of the Australian basketball goats, so everybody got to respect him.
Thanks, Kai.
Yeah.
Diane, before we wrap up, your final questions.
Yeah, I mean, it was just great hearing CJ, I mean, I'm so happy that, you get to be coaching Kai, and what a privilege nga, sabi ni Kai. As a final question, Kai, what's it like? How does the media treat you there?
Say
And
it again.
do
Sorry.
how does the media treat you there? How do you find how the media treats you as a player, your team, as compared to what you're used to? And what about yung mga Pinoys there? Did they have a lot of communication with with the Filipino community?
The media here is pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. Filipino media is different compared to any other medias. I
How
mean,
different? How different?
it's just they're very passionate about basketball, and they don't really care about others' feelings. They just say what they want to say, and
Mm,
you know, there's a lot of experts in Philippines, especially Filipino fans. There's a
mm.
lot of experts, so I mean, it doesn't really matter for me, and I'm just very focused on what my goal is here, and that's to help my team win and to learn as much as possible.
Yeah, well, we're super excited to watch your forthcoming games. And coach, thank you for all that you're doing, and thanks for being on the show. What would you like
Thanks
to
for
say to
having me.
Filipino fans who are now following the Adelaide 36ers because of Kai, obviously?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. Um, all the Filipino supporters that are supporting Kai Soto and the 36ers, I'm I'm grateful that one to be able to coach the kid. I will never harm your young star. That's all you need to know. I'm here to put him in a spot where he can be successful. As we all know,
Nice.
we all want success. He does too. He does everything every single day to work on his body, what's asked of him, and try to deliver that in spades. I think it's hard sometimes as a young guy, and my father, as you already know, he's a Hall of Fame legend. So to grow up in a shadow or have that sort of stigma behind you, and why are you not playing? How come this happens? Sometimes it's just part of our journey. I think sometimes we want to rush our journey and we don't get the rewards that we want. Sometimes there's the steps along the way that get missed that we're trying not to miss. And I think for everyone to understand that there's 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 a lot of different balls that are juggling in the air. One for me, one for Kai, and one for everyone outside. And I think as a whole, it's understanding how we keep this thing round and how we all find a common ground to make everything better, but then improve in every area that we can. And my goal is to still make your young star shine. So you have whichever way that this plays out is We are here to win basketball games. Kai will play his part, his role, and he will do his part to show that not only he's dominant in our NBL and ready, preparing for his journey in the NBA, but right now it's the NBL and staying focused on the NBL and how he can dominate certain guys and bigs that will have opportunities in the future to play EuroLeague basketball, NBA opportunities, and Kyle will be along those same lines. And he's already in those talking lines for the fans to know and understand. And we love him here. We're thankful for Jeff Van Groningen and our owner, Grant Kelly, and the work that he's done to have him here, and for our fans here, the support and the love that they give him. And we continue to hope that you stay blessed and stay safe while you're away, and continue to watch our journey and along the way, our process.
Well, we want to thank you,
Fantastic.
Coach CJ. Yeah, we want to
Mabuhay.
thank you so
Mabuhay.
much. Yeah, mabuhay, really.
Thank you.
And your insights have been so enlightening. Your story is amazing, and we want to thank you for taking care of Kai, because he's our
Yes,
he's our
thank
treasure.
you.
He's a national treasure, and we
Yes.
know you're taking care of him. We can see his improvement game after game, and Kai, we're totally behind you. We're praying for your success. We know that you're in good hands with Coach CJ, and we're praying for the Adelaide 36ers to go up there in the standings and win that championship. So with that,
Keep
Dyan,
going. Keep going.
we want to say thank you once more for your time, for making this episode really amazing and enlightening. Thank you, Kai Sotto. Thank you, Coach CJ Bruton. And with that, on behalf of Dyan Castillejo, this is Quinito Henson saying thank you for watching Play It Right TV.